Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that we know as Fifi La Pew Pew, but most people know as a leFhy or a leaf blower, or if you happen to be Jingles, you know it as yes, the thing he can't pronounce. Maybe the Arty he doesn't want to pronounce. Well, it's a 105mm light field howitzer armed Arty with a built on the Char B1 chassis. It's got an alpha damage of 410, doing 53mm of armour and burst rates of 1.91 meters. And they're not on that sale that often because Wargaming doesn't want to upset the tank drivers rather. Oh, what a pity. The poor tank drivers get so upset when it goes on sale, they start having fits. Yes, I wonder why. There's only 2 premium Artys on the PC game, the Sexton 1 and the Fifi, and yet there are literally hundreds of premiums in the rest of the game. Tank destroyers, heavy tanks, light tanks, hundreds of them, but only 2 premium Artys, and only 2 premium Artys upsets the tank drivers. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because they're pussies. They can't deal with Arty. They don't know how to play Arty, and so they're pussies. They're scared of Arty, and that's why they don't want Arty to be on sale, and that's why they don't want premium Arty to be in the game. Well, RaySpruance is the player at the moment, and he's not having a lot of luck so far with his shots. Trying to get them on target. Rounds out. Direct hit. That's better. And that was a penetrating round because it did 401 hit points. But it's a low roll penetration. Rounds out. This VK is about to die. He has. Yep. One of the great things about this little Arty is its reload time. It's 7.85 seconds for RaySpruance. That one hit the target. Because he stayed to look and see where the shell went, he saw that there was no explosion, so he knows that he hit that target. The second shell, though, did explode, so he knows he didn't touch it with that shell. Turning over towards the Magic Forest, we see an M4A1 and a Panzer Mark IV-H. He's going for the Panzer Mark IV first, rounds out. He pulls back just, but it's not enough, and he takes the round for 295 hit points. So he's got his second kill. Turning back towards the west side, we've got a T-34 trying to hide behind the house. But if you let this Arty dial in fully, it can be very accurate, like that. 171 hit points from that strike. The T-34 is now one shot, and he knows it, and that's why he's trying to pull back. That shell went a little too far behind him. It was close, but he died anyway. The Stug 3G got him. Okay, over there we had another tank, but oh, there's an enemy Stug 3G, and he's got the standard 75mm gun. It looks like he's firing on our Stug 3G or our T-34, and I'm afraid he just, oh, it wasn't him, it was the M10 who killed him, but he's now out the game because RaySpruance has claimed his soul. We're now going for the M10 RBFM, who was hiding behind that bush. We can't see him, but we're firing around in at him, and it hit the target. It definitely hit him because there was no explosion again. It's going for the Chinu. Rounds out. It's a good shot, but the Chinu appears to have pulled back. The M10 is down to one shot. That wasn't close enough. He pulled back just in time. And there's a second M10 RBFM, but he's now one shot. And RaySpruance fires in, and before his shell can arrive, he would have claimed a certain kill off that one. The M10 was killed by our M10 RBFM. So there's still an M10 somewhere in that area. He's fired a blind shot in, just on the off chance. Now this is one of the few Arty that actually does carry ammunition other than HE. In this particular Arty, you can carry heat rounds, that's high explosive anti-tank, or armor piercing, but RaySpruance has only elected to carry 4 heat rounds and the rest is high explosive. He's aiming behind the KV-1 to let it drive back into the shell. is such a long way away. You have to lead the target slightly. Rounds out. Looks good. It is! Kill shot. So 4 kills now for RaySpruance. Of course, many of you may know that RaySpruance was one of the admirals engaged in the Battle of Midway. He was the replacement that was put in because the admiral who had previously been in charge of the task group was unfortunately ill, and so he couldn't take the task force to sea. So RaySpruance had to take over instead. The name of the admiral who was actually ill, by the way, just in case you thought that I'd forgotten him, it was Admiral Halsey. So well played by Robert Mitchum in the original version of the Battle of Midway, which I still think is very good. But the new Battle of Midway, if you want to watch it, it's actually available on Amazon Prime. So if you are an Amazon Prime customer, you can watch it online for free. Going for the Chinook. Oh, he got a hit. 120 hit points. There's 6 enemies left. If he can take this one out, they'll be 1 up. But he's hiding behind that house at the moment. And the Stug, well, he can't go around the corner because he's low on hit points. And the Chinook is not. In fact, that Chinook knows the situation. So long as he stays where he is, he's relatively safe from the Stug. Because if the Stug comes round, he's going to take at least 1 round from that Chinook before the Chinook is killed. And 1 round should be enough to take out the Stug 3G. Well, the rest of our force is near the enemy camp, but we just lost a Panzer Mark 4H. And, oh, we just lost another one. We lost the Stug 3G. Now hemorrhaging tanks. There's 4 left on either side. Now he's changed his view to this KV-1 near the enemy camp. Rounds out on him. Long flight time for the shell, and he didn't give enough lead that time. He's trying to work out where the KV-1's going, and we've just lost the Stug, who tried to get behind the house to go after the Chinook, and the Chinook managed to kill him. In fact, I'm not sure if it's the Chinook or the... it was the Chinook, yes, sorry, it does say that in the text. So, what do they do now? Because they've only got 3 left on their team, and there's 4 enemy tanks. So it looks like RaySpruance is making himself a little nest. He's knocked a tree down to protect himself from sight of that Chinook, just in case he comes north. The other 2 members of the team are down just behind the enemy cap area. We know where the Chinook is. We just and we know where the KV-1 was last seen. What we don't know is where the M10 is, because there's an M10 on the enemy team, and there's also a Stug 3G. I think it's the Stug 3G that's been causing us a few of the problems. The M10 RBFM's got 4 kills. The Chinook's got 3, but I think that Stug is actually, because he's remained hidden, he's been able to get shots in. Oh, he's been found. There he is. He was close to our guys, and unfortunately he has killed our M10 RBFM. So it's now just 2 versus 4. Rounds out. Oh, no. So it's now they're in a very defensive mode. They were at one point looking as if they were going to win this because they'd moved all the way south. They've won the Magic Forest, and now I'm afraid that Panzer Mark IV is retreating back. He needs to get back because if he doesn't, then it's just going to be RaySpruance trying to defend their cap against the onslaught. It is a Panzer Mark IV Hydrostat, which is a premium vehicle. Just hope he can get back in time. The one good thing about the 105 leFH18B2 is it does have a very long view range, 390 meters. And some have suggested that the reason for that is that it has a gun mounted very high on the vehicle. Well, he missed out on that shot, but the M10 is still in sight. Loaded. No, he overshot on that one as well. His aiming is a little off at the moment. It was on first thing, but... Well, not first thing, but close. Now he's getting these leading shots wrong. And all because the M10 is moving across his field of fire, not towards him as such, but sideways on. Oh, we got that one right. At last he finally got a shot on target, but it does tell the enemy where he is. And, well, how are they going to approach this? They could come straight down the middle. They probably know that he doesn't have good view down the middle because that ridgeline ahead of him is in the way. I'm not sure if the Chi Nu or the KV-1 or the Stug will do that though. Hydrostat is just moving behind us right now, or is he going to join up with us? Nope, he's decided to join up with us. It probably would have been better for the Hydrostat to actually take a position a little further away so he could get good sight on the enemy just in case the Hydrostat spots something that RaySpruance can't see. And there's the Chi Nu, and he is coming up the centre just as I thought they might, because it's quite a late spot. He's actually fairly close to the cap now, and RaySpruance is turning to engage. And he killed him with one shot, and he gets the top gun. And here comes the Stug. They were coming in all together, but not a massed attack as such. Here comes the Stug. Nice hit. He's potentially got the high caliber, but the Stug's not dead, but now it is. Hydrostat makes that certain of it, and now it's 2 versus 1. They've turned it all the way around now. I think the enemy rather gave that one away. The M10 dying first on his own, then the Chi Nu and Stug coming in and both dying, and now it's just the KV-1. Well, he's going to take a little while to get here because he's quite a big and slow tank. Question is, does he really want to come now? He's probably halfway up here, thinking to himself, well, now I'm facing 2 enemies, including one of the best Artys in the game. As I mentioned at the start of the game, only 2 premium Artys in the game. This is one of them. It is good. It's very good Arty. Oh, and RaySpruance has got that flicky thing with his mouse, and I'm just going to take control of that because it does upset a lot of people when you do that. It gives motion sickness. You should know that. He's going up onto the bank, and that should give him view range, but that's the 2-minute siren, which means that we are close to the end of the game, and I'm afraid they are so far away from the enemy cap it's not going to be possible for them to cap out. They would need to be at the enemy cap within 50 seconds for both of them to cap out. 50 seconds left on the game, but I don't think the KV-1 would give them that option. And he stopped in this bank, and well, it does rather conceal the KV-1. If he did go up the centre, you can see he can't spot anything below that ridgeline. But I think they're already accepting that it's definitely going to be a draw. Yeah, the enemy could make it to the cap, but if he did make it to the cap, he'd be giving everyone notice of where he is, and if he did do that, yes, I think he will probably lose the game. So I think the KV-1 is not going to come out to play. Mind you, if I was the KV-1 driver, I would still give it a go, but I'd be very careful about how I did it. The Hydrostat hasn't found him yet. "20 seconds. "10 seconds. I don't think he's going to come out. No, this is going to be a draw. And that's it. It's all over. It is a draw. That's kind of sad. If they'd actually gone out and moved south, I think they probably would have come across the KV-1s. He tried to attack them, but that might have given them the chance to get a win. Even so, even if the KV-1 had killed one of them, they might have still been able to pull off a draw anyway. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was an ace tanker for RaySpruance in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he got 18. And he got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. And a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. Let's have a look at team score. There you go. Highest damage in the game. 2,344 hit points. Easily the highest. The next highest scorer was the Slug 3G on the enemy team. I told you he was good. 1,455 hit points of damage to him. And he managed to get 2 kills. Whereas the Panzer Mark IV Hydrostat on our team got 1,270. Oh, and the enemy M10 RBFM, that last one who came up to try and get the kill, 1,405 to him. So he was actually in 3rd place. And then the Hydrostat was in 4th. When it came to kills, it was RaySpruance again with 6 kills, 4 kills to the M10, 3 kills to the Chi Nu, and 2 kills to the Panzer IV Hydrostat, the Panzer IV Mark H, the Stug 3G, and the Gorilla on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it was, yes, RaySpruance at top with 712, 517 for the M10 RBFM, 428 to the Panzer IV Hydrostat, and the next one was the Gorilla with 416. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was the M10 RBFM on their team with 418. Then the Gorilla with 416. Okay, let's have a look at detail. He fired 32 rounds in that game. Got 13 direct hits, 4 penetration, 17 splash. Damage of 2,344 hit points, of which 2,213 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see there was some close range shots, mostly on the M10, the Chi Nu, and the Stug 3G. 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and 220 hit points of damage assistance. On a free-to-play account, he earned 32,148 credits, got 4,050 for the Achievements Award. That's for getting an Epic Medal or a Battle Hero Medal in a losing or drawn game, and in this case it was a drawn game, and he got a Battle Hero Medal. 36,198 credits altogether, and after ammunition resupply took away 32,102 credits. He received 712 base XP, got 424 for achievements, 454 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 1,590 experience points altogether. So a bit sad that it was a draw in the end, really, because at one point it looked as if they were going to have a lot of trouble trying to stop the enemy from winning, considering it was they were outnumbered 2-1. But in the end, it all turned out okay because the enemy made the big mistake of coming bit by bit. Okay, 2 of the tanks did come together, the Chi Nu and the Stug weren't that far apart when they did come in, but if they'd been a little closer and the M10 had come with them at the same time, it might have been more difficult for RaySpruance and the Panzer IV Hydrostat to fend them off, and then the KV-1, well, he could have followed up afterwards to pick up the remnants. But as it is, it's a bit of a pity that RaySpruance didn't go further south, because I think if they found the KV-1, they might have been able to kill him between them. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, please. And thanks for watching.